Hi there, my name's Daniel. Welcome to Transcona Trailer Sales. Today I'm going to be walking you through your 2008 Wildwood 36 Bhssle. We are just going to start off in the back bumper here. If you take this cap off, this is where we're going to house your sewer hose. There's currently no sewer hose in it, but there will be at the time of purchase. In this corner, as well as all four corners of the unit, you do have stabilizer jacks. The way those work is you have a tool in the front compartment. You're going to take that tool, run this foot down to the ground, give it another 1/8 quarter turn just to firm it up, and it's just going to take any bounce or sway you see we have in the unit right now away. In here is just some storage. Right here you do have a cable satellite inlet. This little door right here is where your exterior shower is located. You just take your little silver 751 key, which should be included with your unit. Open this up. You got a swivel shower head with hot and cold water. This connection here is just your city water connection. Let's say you're at a site with service. You're just going to thread a garden hose into there, turn on the water. It's going to pressurize all your lines without the need of running your water pump. Underneath the trailer here, you do have your sewer outlet. The way that works is you're just going to take that cap, screw it off. Your sewer hose will have the same ears that cap does, and then you got your gray tank and your black tank. You're always going to want to empty that black tank first. It's going to be your dirtiest water filled from your toilets. Then you can follow behind that with your gray tank, because it's usually your cleaner water coming from your sinks and your toilets. If you follow over here, you're going to find your main power cord inlet. It's just your standard 30 amp plug end. This cord is about 15-20 feet long once fully extended, and it does just tuck into the unit for whatever length you need it. Most campsites should have this, and you can plug right on in. But let's say your campsite doesn't have this, or you have the unit at home and you want to run that fridge. We do include a 15 amp park adapter. Just keep it in mind, you're going down to 15 amps of power, so you won't be able to run something like your air conditioner. Just tucking that in there, closing this door. Right below here, if you do just look up, you'll have two caps here. Take those caps off. Those are just going to be your low point drains, allowing you to drain all the water out of your lines. Inside these two compartments, just some more storage. And then at the front of the unit, you do have your tongue jack. One way is up, the other way is down. You do have this propane cover. Underneath that is two 30-pound propane tanks. You do have your regulator on in the back, which has a selector valve. So with the selector valve pointed this way, you're going to be running off this tank. If this tank were to go empty, you can just switch it over to run off this tank. Close this tank, disconnect it, and you can go get that filled up. And inside that black box there is where we're going to house your battery. You do have a light in the front here for whenever you are working on the front of the unit. The way this awning works is you're going to have a long hanger looking tool. You're going to take that little selector up there, push it in, and then you can take your hook this black strap, pull that awning fully out, and then you can just, at that point, you will be able to just unhook this foot from the side of the trailer here just by doing so, and you'll be able to allow that to go to the ground and peg it in with this adjuster to adjust your height. A little further down the unit, just taking in mind that this is your furnace exhaust. Whenever your furnace is running, this is going to be blowing out hot air, so just be mindful of that. And then you do have your hot water service port, your hot water heater service port. Flipping that down, you do have your anode rod, which is your drain bolt. That just screws in there. When you want to empty it, you just unthread it and it will drain the tank. Whenever you first get to your site, you are just going to want to give that pressure relief valve a pull, and there should be a shot of water that comes out of there. Because there's no shot of water coming out of there, it's just letting you know that the tank's empty and it wouldn't be safe to fire up. I'm going to go over a reset procedure inside. The button I refer to is just right here. And then you do have your freshwater fill right here. And then just keeping in mind, You do have your range hood vent flap right here. And when you want to open that whenever you get to your site, and then just if you're traveling, just to keep that dust down, you are just going to turn those little tabs so that you lock it into place. And then you do have a rear bedroom door, but today we are going to enter through the front door and then just some more storage in the back here. Get inside, you're just flipping that assist handle up, pushing that assist handle up, holding it 90 degrees. You grab your stairs, pull out, flip that second stair down, then you got your last stair. Then you do just have patio sliding doors. Take a step on inside. First things first, right on your left, you will notice you do have that fire extinguisher. And then inside, you do have some living space lights, which turn on with the push of this button. That is only going to turn on the one light. The rest of the lights are on their own center push buttons. And then that light there just does turn on your orange porch light. And then you have your slide out button. So the way that works is you're just going to push that button out. Slide out's going to start making its way out. You're going to know that slide out's fully extended once you hear the whines and the clicking of the motor. Again, all the lights in the unit, just most of the lights in the unit are on their own center push buttons. So there you go, you heard the clicking of the motors there. For your AC, I will notice, note that if you just take this and pull this down, you can access your little filter and give that, take some compressed air and blow that off. And whenever you are running your AC, you got two options for running it. With these louvers open, it is just gonna dump all its air into the living space. Now, if you wanna move that air throughout the unit, you can just close these off. And then at that point, it's gonna move all its air through the ceiling ducting you see we have around the unit. You do have a little entertainment center here where you do get access to turn between the different speakers, so you can run it on your interior speakers off or your exterior speakers. You do have your radio right here, which is going to be just like home. And then on the wall here, you do have your thermostat system. So you got your temperature selection on the right. You got your fan selection, so if you have it on auto, it is an on-demand system. It's going to kick in and out as needed. And then you do have high and low, and then you do just have your system control right next to that, so you can have it on cool or furnace or off. Inside the bedroom is just some bunk beds, as well as a little dinette. That dinette also turns into a bed. You're just having to take those legs out from underneath the table. Take that table, lay it on the ledge, take your back cushions and fill in the center. Inside the dinette area, you do have this couch, which folds into a bed. You're just having to grab the foot of that couch, and it's gonna fold out. Sorry, this is not. There you go. So you do just have to give it a little assistance, and then to bring it back in, you are just grabbing the foot and the top at the same time, and just kind of working it back into place. All the blinds in the unit are just household style blinds. You got the one way to lower it, the other way to raise it, lock it into place. You got your sink with hot and cold water. You do have a dinette here, which also turns into a bed. You're just again having to take those bottom feet out, lay that tabletop on that ledge, take your back cushions to fill in the center. Inside the kitchen area, you do have a household style fridge, so this is only going to work when you're plugged into shore power. Whenever you're towing, it isn't going to be running. You got your microwave, which is pretty much just like home. Not much I'm going to show you there. You do have your range hood with a light and a fan. And then you have your stove and your oven. So the way that works is you're just going to turn those guys over to light. Hit it with your lighter. Fires right on up. And then you do have your stove as well. You're just turning that knob over to pilot, holding it down. Take your lighter inside there and just run it right near those orifices. Fires right on up. You got your pilot lit. At that point, you can turn it up to your desired temperature and it fires right on up. I will note that underneath the stove here, if you take these two screws out, this is just a false panel. It's going to pop out and it's going to give you access to your hot water heater bypass valves. Taking a step inside the bathroom, you got your light switch on your right, left, that turns on the light. You got a sink with hot and cold water. This is your main GFI plug. If you ever have a plug that doesn't work, this would be the first place I'd check. You do have test and reset. Inside the main living space, your stove and your furnace both run off propane. Propane's heavier than air. We do have this LP detector right down here. If that guy ever starts going off, you are just going to want to turn off the main supply of propane at the front of the unit and just open up all the windows just to ventilate it out. You do have some overhead fans in here. Opening that up, and you do have a switch to turn it on. And then just closing that up. You got a shower with hot and cold water as well as a toilet. And then inside the bedroom area, you do have a light that turns on. You do get access to those rear storage compartments just by lifting up the foot of the bed. And then inside here, you do have a coax plug-in as well as some 110 plugs where you can also set a TV up on this nice shelf. And that locks into place, and then just to unlock it, you're just pushing it up a little bit and helping those arms fold back down. Smoke detector above your head. You just hit that and hold that button. That's just telling you that it's still working. And then just right inside here, you do have your main fuse panel. Main fuse / breaker panel. You're popping that open. Whenever a breaker goes off, it just sits in the middle, so off and then back on again to reset it. And then you do just have your fuses right next to that. That is going to be it for this unit here. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call.